Hello, this is Robert Hollis. I hope you're having a wonderful and great day. And the title today is The Future is So Exciting. The future is so exciting. I don't know. I normally say super. Super exciting. And so we'll wait for people to get on here and we'll get started. I'm really excited to talk to you about how exciting the future is. And let me see if some people are getting on here. Wait for Facebook to let everyone know. Come on, Facebook, reach out there and tell everybody that I'm doing a live. That'll be awesome. So far there it is. Hey, Craig, how you doing? Jessica, Kai's always in B Town. You should move to like C Town or D Town. Um, Hi, Randy. Hi, Pat. Hi, Dustin. Hi, Nicholas. Hi, Lisa. Great to see you guys all here. And I'll go ahead and get started here. There's my lovely wife, John, Mary. Again, the future is so exciting. One of the things I want each and every one of you to know that this will also have a little bit to do with the way that we get excited. My son, Matthew, sent me a video, and it was an interview with Elon Musk. And one of the unique things that I didn't realize about myself is that when I first met my mentors, that I was probably pretty pessimist. I probably had a bad attitude, like they say, a lot of stinking thinking. And I usually have a phrase that I say all the time. Usually, I always say this, is you won't move forward in life until you have something to look forward to. So you won't move forward in life unless you have something exciting to move forward to. So one of the things that really happens in life, if you notice, media and the rest of the world are not only consistently trying to run the narrative of propaganda to make us negative. And so, you can't even talk about the weather without the weather saying that there's going to be 38 million or 48 million people that are, here's a new storm coming, and oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, the sky is falling. And I wanted to preface this by saying a couple of things. I grew up in North Dakota, Williston, North Dakota. And a lot of people don't know this about North Dakota, but it's one of the main states in the United States that protects our whole northern border of the United States. A lot of Air Force bases. In fact, I bring this up, and there's a old movie out there called War Games, and there was a simulation where this kid hacked into a governmental computer, and he decided he wanted to play a game with the computer, and it was called Global Nuclear War. And what was amazing, as this simulation was going off, making all the countries look like they're launching nuclear weapons toward each other, one of the things that they were on to prove whether or not it happened was a nuclear warhead hitting Grand Forks, North Dakota. Because if they could take the missile silos out of North Dakota, and that that would be some of their main targets immediately. And so in the movie, the missile lands, and of course they're saying, Grand Forks, are you there? Grand Forks, are you there? And then all of a sudden they answered, so now they knew it was all fake. But the point of that bringing up there is I grew up in North Dakota, and because I did, during the Cold War in the 1970s, that there was this constant Cold War that was always about ready to happen, where they constantly talked almost daily about the chance that Russia or some other country would attack us. And so I say this, we even did drills where we hid underneath our desk. And a lot of people say I'm full of BS, but you actually can go on Google and you can put in videos, practicing for a nuclear strike, and you'll see all these kids hiding underneath their tables, right? Underneath their desks. Like that would help, right? But my whole point in that is that, we become who we hang around. When you read Science of Getting Rich, when you read Think and Grow Rich, any books out there, there's this phrase that they say is that, we're a product of our environment. That if you want to look at your income and what you project your income to be 5 years from now, that all you need to do is take the average income of the 5 people that you hang around the most. So if you notice that if you just keep showing up in a job over and over and over again, you're usually making exactly what the people around you are making. And so I say all this that, with that kind of environment and growing up, it was like, why wouldn't I have a lot of stinking thinking? Why wouldn't I have a bunch of bad programming? Why wouldn't I think that, there was a glass ceiling, that there was no really way for me to move up? And I say this all the time. And, in my, my late 20s, I really became probably worse than I was in the past, because I really believed that if I just really worked hard, super hard, and outworked everyone, and even moved locations from Williston, North Dakota to Billings, Montana, a bigger one where I met my incredible wife, and then from there moved to California, where they paid auto mechanics a lot more money, and you didn't have to worry about working on them in the winter time. So if there's just more people there's you would make more money. And all of a sudden, it didn't make a difference how much I made. It always seemed like the expenses for everything were just a little bit higher. And at that time, I posted a post not too long ago, is that, the rich focus on demand, and the poor, or let's just call them the average, 95% or 90% of the people, they're always focused on supply. So the reason that times can go up and down, or valuation of inflation and everything, is all based around this supply and demand. So everyone I knew wasn't doing well. No one I knew, had multiple homes, going on vacations, giving, thousands and millions to charity. No one I knew was doing that. And so the programming that I had is, a wealthy people are bad people. Wealthy people are greedy people. Wealthy people hurt people. They don't give any money to charity. They just keep buying, these big fancy homes and cars and planes and all this extravagance. It was just, well, why couldn't they, instead of buying a new a rocket like the billionaires are today? I didn't understand that really the government is set up that if they don't spend that money in research and development, if they don't take their profits to expand another division of their company that costs them billions and billions of dollars, then they just give it to the government. And so when you see these companies constantly building things and throwing all that money toward those directions, even though the rest of the world doesn't understand it, it's why they do what they do. And so one of the things that was really crazy is I wasn't optimistic about the future. I wasn't excited about the future until I got exposed to being an entrepreneur, until I got exposed to learning things about wealth and all of a sudden, visualizing and doing imagination. And when I learned to vision, a lack of vision is why people perish. And all of a sudden, when I learned that I could focus and be optimistic in the future, my whole life changed. Everything changed. Why? Because I went from a person that wasn't excited about tomorrow, wasn't excited about this week, wasn't excited about this year, to a person that's excited to get up every morning. When I get up in the morning, it isn't same crap, different day. And how I was able to do that is my mentor was able to show me just how much time I was spending listening to the propaganda and people out there that have a million opinions. And they were always talking about how the sky is falling, how the world's going to end. And it's like, I don't believe that anymore. So there's these whole group of people in the world that the sky is falling. It's going to get worse if we don't correct. There's already been projections out there. I know you guys know this. I read a book in 1995 called The Road Ahead by Bill Gates. And when he was talking about voice recognition, when he was talking about face recognition, and he was talking about, that we would be able to do all this stuff in the future. And he believed, listen to this, He 100% believed that every person in the world would have access to a computer. Like, we just didn't realize that they would be in your hand and they would be called a smartphone, right? And so it was pretty interesting that that book really, really got me to think about the possibilities of the future. When you talk to people that are optimistic and they're excited about the future, do you realize there's people that are going to watch this video live and recorded, that if you could switch your mind, and you can, it's a choice, we got free will. If you change your mind to be excited about the future and excited about every day, you haven't lived your best days yet. You haven't lived the lifestyle that you always dreamed when you were younger. That is all still possible. And not only is it possible, but it can happen very, very fast. And, there's this phrase that I've been saying for years that I learned from my mentor is all you got to do is find a trend. And a trend's like a freight train moving 80 miles an hour west. You don't have to be smart. You don't have to be good looking. You don't have to know certain people. It's like when trends happen, they happen with or without us. And, it's pretty amazing no matter how much money you have in your life. It's a lot of people that are extremely, extremely wealthy have an Apple phone. People that are very, very extremely wealthy, will have an Apple Watch. Never did I believe that, you worked your brains out. You work your brains out to get like a very fancy watch, maybe a Rolex or something that's very, very expensive, but it still doesn't do what this thing does. You know what I mean? And so I need you to understand that if you're not excited about tomorrow, if you're not excited about the sale that's happening on 420, if you're not excited about, virtually billions of people on the planet needing to find a way to supplement their income and also save money on stuff they already have, so like gasoline, so we rode a trend, to over $3.5 million with CBD. And right now, there's more people that know people that use gasoline than CBD. There's still people questioning the whether they would ever try CBD. So it's really, really amazing, and it's so exciting because for some of you, you could make a decision. Listen to me. You could make a decision right now to cut off all negative propaganda and programming that is going in your head. Totally focus on programming that makes you optimistic, that will make you excited about the future. And by being excited, you'll attract excited people. People that want the future to be better than it is right now. And so you will attract the people that want to do the same thing as you're doing. And some of you don't realize this, but you're literally, listen closely, you're literally months away of making so much money. And if you're smart with that money, as that money comes in, you put it in places that we talk about in Akashics, and with CoinZoom, that you actually could build your wealth. Some of you in the next 6 months, year, 2 years, if you could just refocus and be excited about your future, will never have to worry about money ever again, ever. So, I still run into people that are all like, oh my God, there's so many people that are marketing, whatever it is, you know what I mean? Because they're focused on supply, not demand. I, as a person that believes in the future and excited about the future, I could easily get into selling TVs and do extremely well in selling TVs, even though every home has a bunch of them. Because I know the demand for people that want to upgrade their TV. I know people that, that want to upgrade to new technology. And just like my son, my eldest son, he goes into people's homes and shows them the reason why they need to go to solar power. And that's never, ever going to disappear. You know what I mean? So are you optimistic about the future? Are you excited about it? So I'm going to post a YouTube video here that my son Matthew sent to me. And and now some of you, will immediately not like this guy, but everyone said to Elon Musk, he said, listen, I am going to change the world. I'm going to make everybody want an electric car versus a gas car. And there's still people on the planet, I'll never get in an electric car. And now, there's a electric Mustang. There's an electric Chevy pickup truck with four-wheel turning. You know what I mean? The Humvee. You know what I mean? The Humvee came out. It's all electric. And now you got all these companies that are doing their best to make electric vehicles. And it's funny because some of you are going to fight it all the way to the very end. And that's okay. But I'm not. I know there's people out there right now that are looking at electric cars and they can't afford them yet. So there's this time. If you have any urgency in your life for you, your family, putting your family in a financial position where they'll never have to worry about money again, you could focus, really focus for the next 6 months, a year, 2 years, and put your family in such a financial position where you never have to worry about it again. And some of you are going to allow this trend to just go by you like every other trend that's gone by you. So you got to focus on being excited. There's if you took the United States, and for some of you that are good at numbers, I'm pretty good at numbers. If they say that there's 300 and let's just say over 300. See, I know how to do open-end questions, so no one has to argue with me. So there's over 300 million people on the planet. I mean, in the United States, right? And they say about half of those work, so that's 150 million. There's 10% of the people. 10% of the people. That's 15 million people in the United States right now that are looking for a way to increase their income. Now, I'm just talking about people that have already worked on their personal development. They're sick and tired of being sick and tired. They don't want to live this way anymore. But yet you can go on Google and put in studies how many people are currently really excited about their current job. And that's always around that 23%. The 30 that I've talked about and other ones. So there are 30% of the people out there that are happy with their jobs. Everything is going, great. They're doing what they love. They don't want to change anything. But yet there's this large group of people right now that know people that are sick and tired of being sick and tired, and they need control of their life. What, this crazy war has done, what COVID has done, what all of this thing has done is just putting people in two places that they don't want to be in. They're uncertain. They're uncertain about their future. They're uncertain. Uncertainty is not a place to live. It's a place to be able to, have a little bit of excitement, but who wants to live with no security? You know what I mean? So uncertainty and security has disappeared, and there's virtually all these people out there that are so excited. So a couple of key points. I haven't listened through all, I think 43 minutes of that interview that my son sent to me. And a lot of you are going to be blown away about the stuff that they're talking about. But the things that I'm excited about, is the Starship or whatever he calls it. To imagine that you could go fly out of our atmosphere on Earth and then drop down in any place in the world and do that in 20 minutes. That is just fascinating to me. And I know that I'm going to see it really soon. You know what I mean? So now you don't have to spend all day or 12 hours or 24 hours going from airport to airport to airport to finally get to someplace. If you want to fly all the way around the world, you could actually go up, hang out there for a few minutes, and then drop back down. That's going to happen. It's probably going to be like Virgin Airlines when it first started. It's probably not going to be affordable for a majority of the people on the planet. I want to be in a position to financially be able to afford to do those things with my family. You know what I mean? I'm so excited about the future. And so he talks about, everyone talks about, oh my God, the world's going to end. Oh my God, the world's going to end. I love how Elon Musk talked about, listen, the people that have all the money have one thing in their mind, and that's called survival. They don't want to die. So if anything on this planet gets to a place where it starts jeopardizing their survival, their happiness, it will change immediately. And so, he was talking about the ability for us to go totally solar and totally wind and hydro in minutes, literally minutes. Because when everyone says, I don't want to die, then everything changes. So it's pretty amazing. So he's very optimistic about the future. So am I. And I had a mentor help me with that years ago. So every day I get up, I'm excited about helping more people like you never have to worry about money again. To think that we live in a society, in a world where we all can be connected this fast on technology, and there's still people that are just sitting around living comfortable, being conformists, and they won't step out of their comfort zone for just a little bit. Just a little bit. When I know that the product that I have to give to people puts them in a better place than they were before they found me, then it's my job to be able to scream it from the rooftops and get it to as many people as I can. And if I can also show a group of people never have to worry about money again, if you really want to take care of people that are unfortunate and don't have the resources and the supply and the water, the food, whatever, then I feel like in Science of Getting Rich is that you owe it to this world. You owe it to this world to be the best that you could be. When you're standing in front of your creator and you can basically say, listen, I knew the knowledge on how to be able to make my family not suffer. And through that, I could have made enough money to make sure that virtually millions of families don't suffer anymore. And I just decided not to. Wow. So it's okay to be ignorant. Because ignorance is not a bad word. It means that you don't know that you don't know. But once you do know that there's a way where you don't have to suffer for you and your family anymore, and then you could teach and learn to do something that you could share with others so they don't have to suffer anymore, and you just say, no. Nah, I'm tired. Nah, I want to beat up on myself some more. I want to live in a world that is pessimist, that's going to end in a matter of months anyway, so why work so damn hard? See, that puts you in a different category. And I don't want to be in that category. So I let you know that the future's bright, it's super exciting, and you get to choose. My daily choice. You get to choose whether or not to participate in the new world or stay in the old world. Take care. We'll talk to you tomorrow. I believe in you. I love and appreciate you. And if no one's giving you permission to change your life, let it come from me. My mentors did that for me, and I want to do that for you. See you tomorrow. Bye for now.